Hey, what's up? It's Chris Martin. I'm about to tell you how I made hundreds of thousands of dollars by working FSBOs, for sale by owners. You ready? Let's go.
Wait till I give my money right.
First, let me start out by telling you why I love for sale by owners. First, these are it's like low-hanging fruit. These people have raised their hands and have told you that they actually want to sell their house. Now, getting them is a whole nother story, but actually identifying them, they're telling you that they want to sell their house. So for me, I love that. So stay tuned for the whole entire video. I'm going to share my favorite power close for me calling all for sale by owners. Make sure you stay tuned for that. The other reason why I love for sale by owners is because you know the motivation's there. They want to sell their house and they want to sell it for a reason. Now you have to identify that motivation, which we'll talk about, but you know the motivation is there. And you know what the objection is. You know why they are going for sale by owner. It's because they want to save the most money possible. So if you know that that's the objection going in, you should know how to handle it. So there's some objection handlers that we're going to talk about. You know what the motivation is. We're going to talk about scripting, all that and more. So you have to know why a for sale by owner is trying to go for sale by owner. Is it the right thing to do? Absolutely not. Your mindset has to shift. You have to believe that you can help with a sale by owner. And for me, that was actually easier said than done, because I can tell you that, but if you don't actually believe it, it's gonna be hard to articulate that and to sell why a for sale by owner should hire you and actually pay you. And that was my problem. I couldn't believe that. How could a for sale by owner, how could they actually save more money by paying me as an agent? I just couldn't believe that they could do that. Well, here's the truth. So statistically, it's a fact that for sale by owners actually sell for far less than they would sell if they list and sell their house with an agent. So those numbers are what they are. Numbers just don't lie, and there's a reason for that. For sale by owners just don't get the right exposure. They don't get the exposure to the right people that they would if they were to list and sell on their own. Selling it with an agent, they're just gonna get that much more quality of buyers coming to the table, that much more exposure, that much more competition. And we know in a market, if anything has shown over the last couple of years, we know that a competitive market is all to the advantage of the seller. You can actually leverage those people against each other, and that's how you get over asking. If you don't have that competition, then you're just not gonna get as much. And we've seen properties in the market that I'm in go easily $25, $50, $100, $150,000 over the asking price. So all those people out there that if you're thinking about selling on your own, think about that. If you can sell your property and potentially get $25, $50, $100,000 over asking, is it worth it to have that one or two extra buyers on the table? 100% yes. We're thinking about trying to save pennies and we're losing dollars. You're thinking about saving $15,000, $20,000 on a commission, $30,000 on a commission, and you're just not going to get that extra demand that you need on your property to sell it for top dollar. And that should be the ultimate goal, selling your property for top dollar. So that's what you have to believe as an agent. You have to know that you, in your heart, can sell that property for top dollar and more than what they could sell their property for. Because here's another truth. In a market, can a for sale by owner sell their home? Yes, they can. Any for sale by owner can sell their home. But the question and the problem is, will they sell it for top dollar? And the answer is, in most cases, no, they cannot do that. So working for sale by owners, it is a delicate dance because you can't just contact a for sale by owner and let them know, look, you're not doing a job. You can't do it the way I can. That's not going to get you anywhere. You have to have empathy for the situation first and foremost. You have to think and understand why they're trying to do that. And they're trying to save money. And who wouldn't want to save money? They're just going about it the wrong way. So it's up to us to get them to realize that. And we have to do that with empathy. We actually have to go into that knowing their mindset, and what they're doing is actually, it's respectable. Like, I don't blame you trying to save money, Mr. Seller, and here's what I want to offer. So why is a for sale by owner not a good idea? We talked about the limited exposure, and that being by far the most important reason why they shouldn't go for sale by owner, because it's just not going to give them the exposure that they need to get top dollar. But some of the other reasons are, you're just going to attract you're going to attract not the best quality of buyers. Let's just say the best quality buyers are represented by agents. Another reason why it's a bad idea to go for sale by owner is just poor negotiation skills. It's not always, it doesn't always have to do with the price. The price is obviously the primary factor involved in a real estate transactions, but there's countless other contingencies and negotiating points in a transaction. And if you don't have an agent that's doing this day in and day out, you just don't know what they are. You don't know what a first deposit should be. You don't know what a second deposit should be. Sure, you can contact an attorney, but there's little nuances in a deal that a real estate agent is going to actually negotiate on your behalf. That's going to make it more convenient for you. That's not going to find yourself in a situation where the buyer has all the leverage in the transaction. And I can tell you from purchasing deals directly from buyer to seller, and if there's a seller that doesn't have representation, it's not like I'm taking advantage of them, but I'm looking after myself. Like, I'm looking after what works best for me. And if there's not someone on the other side giving me pushback on anything that I'm putting to the table, then some of those things can be overlooked a lot of the times. I mean, I purchased properties with very low down upfront money in escrow, closing dates or contingencies that, you know, swayed far more in my favor. So those are little things that can be negotiated and really looked at thoroughly with another agent on the other side. One of the stats that I saw is over 70% of all real estate litigation comes from a transaction where someone's not being represented by a real estate agent. That's a huge statistic that you don't want to be a part of. So when we talk about scripting for sale by owner, we know the objection going in. You heard me talk about that before. We know we have to really just isolate that objection and deal with it. I like dealing with it up front, and dealing with it up front is just part of the scripting. So when I'm calling a for sale by owner, hey, such and such, am I speaking to the owner of the property? Another good thing with for sale by owners is they have incentive on answering the phone. A lot of the times you have their cell phone and they're answering their phone because they're trying to sell it. So for you to call them, asking if it's the owner of the property, hi, Mr. For sale by owner, is this the owner of the property? Yes, it is. Well, I noticed your property. Are you still selling it yourself? Yes, I am. Well, it looks like a great property. I'm curious, is commission the main reason why you decided to sell it on your own instead of using an agent? And I love that question because it gets right to the point, right? You're not beating around the bush. They're not wondering why you're calling. Do you have a buyer? This and that. I'm just calling, asking them, is this the reason why you're trying to sell it on your own? And it's almost like, undoubtedly, yes, that's why they decided to sell it on their own. Okay, great. I'm asking them how they came up with the price. I'm curious how you came up with the price. And a lot of the times it's nothing, you know, magical. It's not like they are professional market analysts and they know how to interpret the market. They probably got their price because a neighbor sold for X amount, or they saw it on Zillow or whatever. It's like, it's this number that they just think their property should sell for that in a lot of ways. Maybe they got an appraisal, who knows? And even appraisals can be like hit or miss sometimes. So you being an agent can automatically provide value out of the gate. So that's just kind of to create a little bit of doubt, really, that question strategically placed to just cause and raise a little bit of doubt for them to build some like, oh, maybe I didn't get this price in the way that I was supposed to get it. But continuing on with the script, asking them, if I could show you a way that I could actually net you exactly what you're looking for, even after my commission is paid, is that something you'd be interested in taking a look at? To me, that's like, who wouldn't want to take a look at that? If you lay that out there and articulate it and inflect it the right way, and by the way, if you guys are looking for a script, or whatever script you're using, people are like, oh, I personalize it, I tweak this, I tweak that. Stop doing that. You're messing the script up. You're messing a proven script up. And it's not the script, it's you. You are the one that can't deliver the script the right way. You have to learn to internalize the script. That's step one. Step number two is articulating it, knowing when to have peaks and knowing how to, have that tone. It's all about tone. It's all about articulation. It's all about that. You need to be able to, use that script in an effective manner. And any script's not going to sound like your own unless you internalize it and practice it, right? Denzel Washington is Denzel Washington, not because he makes up his own script. It's because he can take someone else's script and actually deliver it in the way that it's intended to be delivered. You have to do the same thing with a script. Be an actor. You always wanted to be an actor, right? Or an actress. This is your opportunity to do that. So we're delivering the script. We're mastering how our inflection is within that script. If I can net you what you're looking for even after my commission is paid, is that something you'd be interested in taking a look at? So even that, is that something you'd be interested in taking a look at? That has to, it can't be monotone, right? Is that something you'd be interested in taking a look? No, it's not. Is that something you have to master that stuff? That's the type of stuff that's actually gonna separate you from the average agent, is really being able to master the inflection of what you're delivering in that script, okay? So it's not about the script, it's about how you deliver it. Remember that, especially for my newer agents out there who just want to make up their own shit and expect it to like work. It's not happening. It's the inflection. I like letting them know exactly how long I'm gonna come out for. That way it's not going to be intrusive to their day. It's not gonna take over their day. Look, I'll come out for 15 or 20 minutes and I'll give you some new information. You can use that information and have that be some information that helps you sell the property moving forward, even without me. I'm cool with that. Or there may be a way for us to work together, which will be great. And if there is, I look forward to that. And if not, no worries. So you're letting them know up front that you are looking to work with them. And I think that's important for sale by owners, at least in my approach. There's some people who have the approach of, let me get in there, I have a buyer, and then they're just like pulling out a listing presentation or transitioning awkwardly to a listing presentation. And all of a sudden they want to be the listing agent. I don't think that works for me. Like, what works for me is letting them know up front that I am trying to be the listing agent for that property. And that if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, I'm okay with that too. And at the very least, they're walking away with some valuable information that they can use to help them in selling their property. When you're going out there, what's that information look like? Well, it's your listing presentation that consists of your plan of action. That's gonna be the actual points of what you do to sell a property. So that's different for different people, but if you're looking for plans of actions, there's all types of plans of actions online. Feel free to message me or comment. I'll be happy to reply with some of the points that I use. You can bring some statistics on why going for sale by owner is probably not what they're looking to do if they're looking to net the most money possible. And even though your plan of action may consist of multiple points, you really want to focus in on the one or two that you feel separate yourself from most other agents and what you really specialize in and what you can really, no one else can compare to. So there might be some similar points that other agents make, but you know you can do a far better job at. And that could be anything from social media marketing, coming soon campaigns, whatever it is that really separates you from other agents. That's what you really want to put out there. One of the things some people will try to do is get information from you over the phone. What do you charge for commission? What's your plan of action? What are you going to do to sell this house? You really want to give them limited information. That's exactly the reason why they need to meet with you. You will be able to close more in person than over the phone. You're not closing someone over the phone for the most part, as far as you and a for sale by owner. In order to close them and sign them up as a listing, you're gonna need to meet with them. So giving them some information, if it's standing in the way of you getting an appointment with someone, then yes, giving them some information as a teaser and being able to say, hey, look, I'm looking to elaborate more when we get in person. So, what someone charges for commission, for instance, or what do you charge? I'm not meeting with you unless I know what you charge. Look, I charge someone anywhere between 4 and 6%, depending on the marketing I choose. So if someone's like cornering me and I'm not getting the appointment until I give out something, then that's what I'm doing. But I'm doing it as like a last ditch effort just to get the appointment, and I'm still not giving them all the information. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys have subscribed. If you want to see any type of content real estate related, definitely let me know. Comment. I love seeing you guys comment on these videos. I'll be happy to comment and reply to those, and I will catch you guys soon. Peace.
Wait till I get